some of you will have seen the story on Today Tonight a couple of weeks ago about the South Australian real estate agent. She gained her notoriety on certainly on Today Tonight, and she's been banned for practising as a real estate agent for 6 months, and she's been fined $7,500 for unprofessional, offensive and abusive behaviour. Now, there were key points around that. She's been also ordered to undergo anger management training after she used, it was just abusive and discriminatory language against one of her tenants, or many of her tenants actually, and also against the police. She was no better behaved really in the South Australian Civil and Administrative Tribunal, so the SACAT, and so she has to not only the anger management but the ethical training. Now, what does that mean for us here in New South Wales? Well, what it means is that when you look at our code of conduct, and you know that I like to talk a lot about the code of conduct, which is Schedule 1 of the Property Stock and Business Agent Regulation. So, and it's Clause 3 in Schedule 1, and that is on honesty, fairness and professionalism. And it says that an agent must act honestly, fairly and professionally with all parties in a transaction. Now, it goes on to talk about that, and then it relates to misleading and deceiving behaviour. And obviously, we usually link this particular code of conduct to giving information about material fact, disclosing interests, a whole range of things about that honest and no misleading behaviour. But if we look at the professionalism behaviour, that agent in South Australia certainly has been, so it's her abusive behaviour and her unprofessionalism is what the SA Civil and Administrative Tribunal have ruled on. So we do need to remember that in all of your communications with your tenants, with your landlords, with any consumer that you're dealing with, you need to act in a professional manner. So no matter what your personal beliefs are, no matter what you're thinking about a particular situation, you need to make sure that what you're doing, you are complying with the requirements of the legislation, whether it's the Residential Tenancies Act, the Retail Leases Act, whether it's generally just the Property Stock and Business Agents Act. Your behaviour needs to reflect that level of professionalism. You're either a certificate holder working under the supervision of a licensee, or you are a licence holder and you are deemed to be a professional, which means you need to act as such. So it comes back to your communications, looking at your own moral compass probably, and having standards around how you behave within the industry, because that's your reputation, both as a person, as a professional, and as an agency. So, your reputational behaviour there is really, really important.